You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Look at JuJu Gotti, filled with sunshine. Happy to be here today. How'd we do today, JuJu? The air conditioning wasn't working. There was no water. People were struggling. I just got up off the floor where I was laying on my back because of how many things went wrong around the show today. How did it all sound, though? How did you consume it, and how did the fans of the show feel about what we did today?
It sounded cool. It was not terrible. It was not a trash show at all. We had some technical difficulties that were interesting to go through as a fan of the show. A lot of the fans of the show were linked up and united in experiencing that technical difficulty together, and they were all supportive, and luckily nothing happened.
How about the content? How did you feel about the content today? We were pretty sports heavy. I didn't feel like we had a lot of range outside of sports, although...
you had a lot of range in sports, but you still didn't talk. I didn't hear P.J. Washington's name mentioned until the weekend observations. Like a guy stepping up for he's not even the third option, I don't feel like, stepping up and helping that team get a playoff win. Like, that's amazing. If dare I say, if Hayward Highsmith had 27 points, y'all boys would be going crazy over there.
It's not just that. It's Washington's been great the whole series when Doncic hasn't, because Doncic is on one leg. It hurts to see the player that Stan Van Gundy calls the greatest offensive player he has ever seen in the sport labor around in a way that feels a bit YMCA out of shape because his leg isn't working right. And he says it's not going to be working right until the offseason. Like, this is the Luka we're getting the rest of the way. So they're going to need stuff like that from P.J. Washington, and they're getting it on some days that Kyrie's not great either, because they won a game where Kyrie had 9 points.
Right. It's like Kyrie does the thing every game where he allows the first half to happen and then he plays necessary to what they need. But I think that, which was mentioned last game by one of his coaches, hey, bro, you waiting too long. We down. Like, you can't do this to playoffs. So I feel like people in those complementary roles, Josh Green, as well as with Maxi Kleber going out with the shoulder injury, a lot of people have had to step up that aren't even the second option. So that Dallas Maverick team is scary because they're doing it to the team that everyone thought that was the most scary in the West.
What else you got today in terms of complaints and criticisms? What else you got in terms of commentary from people who have a lot of opinions on how many shitty things we do every day?
The AB1ster, AB1, the Abster, I don't know what his name is, but it's a one and an ab. He says that Mike Breen is out here snitching on Walt Clyde Frazier. And I ain't gonna lie, he is out here snitching, bro. I don't think he want that Snickers story to hit the air.
That was a long time ago, but yes, there are rappers. It's good. It's good that we got a little bit of juicy out of Mike Breen. He really went and got that. Tony, come on.
It reminds me of when Yeti went and got Baby from down in his loins.
Right?
Yeah, wrong. Yes. Salute the Yeti, my brother. We love you. Also, the Hennytron says that I didn't expect Roy Belly to defend the blatant call. Mike Ryan, of course, but Roy, the objective journalist, not him. So yeah, Roy let some people down by defending the Panthers. I saw it from Atlanta. That was a no call. So they're kind of rough on my boy in the chat today.
It seems like it was goaltender interference. Why do I know this? Because the goaltender was interfered with. Like, that's
right. You watched the game.
That's my expert analysis. Angel says he's working hard on "Did you watch the game" T-shirts at lebitardaf.com. It is such an insulting thing to say to
very
somebody.
Cutting.
Because it's not just that it's very cutting. And Roy was mean to me today. Roy at one point got aggressive and said he had a much better question than the one that I had to ask. But inside of this right here, where Roy is aggressively telling you that is not a call that gets made in the postseason, sounds like a total homer when he says that. But I don't know. I don't watch hockey the way that he does. And so I believe him when he says that. But are the people that are commenting to you, JuJu, do you think that they're watching as much hockey as he does? Because that insult, did you watch the game, is such a good insult, because if you didn't watch the game, you're trapped. But if you did, what you said was so ignorant that somebody who watched the game is telling you that your eyes don't work correctly.
It got you too, though, because your response to him was, yes, I did.
Yeah, but I did watch the game. But my response was factual, and I was defensive about it. There's no, you're right. But he tried to trap me, and then he didn't. But then I was checkmated because I did watch the game, but his opinion was different than mine. And then I had no moves after that because it was deeply condescending.
The most revealing thing about these NHL playoffs, bro, like, no offense, Roy, but I just learned that you are the biggest liar in Florida, bro. Like, every day he pull a new lie out his ass. Like, what? You didn't see that, Roy? You didn't care? You knew? Oh, so you knew that was going to win.
Objective journalist.
Right? I love you, Roy. Salute.
Roy cannot be the biggest liar in a circumference that shares square footage with Stugotz, but he has some lies in his arsenal. And
I wrote a book.
Right, which is a good transition, brother. He was hilariously arguing who had the shitty take. Like, that was my take. It wasn't Jay Williams' take. I had that shitty take about Caitlin Clark can't be great without winning. Why would you want to claim that?
He was so proud to be featured in a sports documentary with his shitty take. I gave the shitty take first. Jay Williams stole that shitty take from me.
Nuh-uh, Jessica, it was me. I don't care. You was on Golick. Like, come on, brother. And salute to Kornheiser as well. Welcome to the party. Like, yes, the WNBA has a lot of issues that they need to clean up. Like last year, the games would be scheduled to be on the Ion channel, and then you would go to watch the game, a Fever game. The Fever played the Dream last year, and you go there, and it was Hawaii 5-0 was being played. So they have a lot of stuff to clean up around the WNBA, especially with their games. Salute to my brother Tony. You got to know. Book that boy. But yeah, man, I think that once people like him, talking heads like him, get involved in the complaining, because I can complain all I want to and tag the WNBA and stuff, they can shoot me away. But it is good to have big brothers like him on our side now to get some of these complaints to the actual league.
You mentioned Fever and Dream. Do you understand that Tony Kornheiser complaining about the WNBA not being able to find it on PTI feels like a fever dream to me? That Kornheiser has gotten in the game, but is so late to the party that he doesn't have the technology to find it and has to call his kids and his grandkids because he wants to get in on the action. It is great to see your coverage, incidentally, and I'll tell the people this, they probably know it about you, but your coverage of the WNBA for years has been great, but also your attitude about it is great, where you don't spend a lot of time sermonizing at people who arrive with bad opinions or lazy opinions. You're just happy that finally there is some support for what is, quarter century of work that hasn't had this support, that's overcome the lack of support. So you'll take even the complaining because at least it's not indifference. At least ignorance in this case is better than indifference if you're at least trying.
Right, absolutely. I'm not one to start a trend or like say, oh man, why is everyone wearing their hair up in fur headbands now? This is unfair. Nah, bro, like, thank you for being a part. Now, let's march to the White House and get some change. No January 6th.
Are we?
But let's actually do some work. And like, bro, like, it's so beautiful to see these women that put in the same amount of work as your favorite KD, as Devin Booker, all the people who are sitting at home right now, just like me, that they're doing less work than these women. Like, these women work hard, and it's good to see them finally getting the credit that they deserve, you feel me, which is the love. And I definitely appreciate it. One more note. It's Mark Dagnall. You didn't get the pronunciation on that. Mark Dagnall. That's the Oklahoma City Thunder's coach.
Okay, yes, thank you.
And Derrick Lewis is loved. Like the UFC fighter, he is beloved, Dan. He is not an asshole to any of us. He is my favorite fighter. I love it. His energy. He keep it real with us after the post game. Bro, I was tired. My balls was hot. He threw the cup in the crowd, but he caught it. Like, damn, I never would have thought somebody caught it.
Catch it.
Oh,
so yeah, we love Derrick Lewis.
But I do love Derrick Lewis. I was not speaking for myself. I just figured that anybody who was winning a fight and then waving his shorts over the guy's unconscious face, I'm assuming that most people don't like that if they like sportsmanship.
Touche.
See you later, JuJu.
Yes, sir.
Baby!